Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ IS English channel. My name is Shivam Sagar and today we'll do Hindu analysis of 28th June 2025. So, see, change is the only constant in life, right? So we'll keep on evolving, You will feel with each passing day, I like it's my firm belief that you will feel like the Hindu analysis is getting better and better because I am trying to incorporate so many things. Well, you will see, you will understand where I'm going with this, and we'll see. We'll include MCQs, PYQs, and so many other things also. I will try to give you conceptual clarity as much as possible, and you have to gain something out of it. That is the basic objective. So, good morning, Ravi. Good morning, Jivayan, Vatshayan. Oh my God. And Krishi, Amal, everyone. Let's start the discussion today with the first article of the day. That is on page 8 editorial, a China-led trilateral nexus as India's new challenge. So again, if you see this editorial, this sir here, Harsh V. Pant, even when I used to prepare, we used to watch a series on Rajya Sabha TV, RSTV, The Big Picture. Frank Roshan Pereira. There also he used to come, Harsh V. Pant. So he's a very old person, very renowned person, Vice President, Observer, Research Foundation. You may have heard him also on different forum. I have heard him on RSTV, Rajya Sabha TV. So here he is talking about certain interesting thing. Important from exam perspective is, good morning, Mamta, good morning, Satyajit, good morning, everyone. The important point from exam perspective is, what is the important thing? BRI, Belt and Road Initiative, CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Then what is this trilateral nexus? What is China-Pakistan plus one? Earlier we have talked about, China plus one model. That is a different thing. And here China-Pakistan plus one model is a different thing. So what is happening here? What is this trilateral nexus? China, Pakistan and Bangladesh, they are meeting for the first time. So China in a way is trying to take advantage of our not so good relations with Bangladesh right now. That is Harsh V. Pant and Aditya Godara Shivamurthy sir is saying. Then this is not the only trilateral nexus which China is trying to, incorporate. Good morning, Gyan. There are so many other things which are going on in the background. Harsh V. Pant sir, Aditya sir, they are saying that this whole Pakistan thing, this whole India-Pakistan war, Operation Sindoor, this can be or this may be a deviation strategy incorporated by China, Pakistan is not our major enemy right now. China is. And when we are playing our cards, we have to play it accordingly, keeping that particular point in mind. And then we have to talk about BRI, Belt and Road Initiative, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, string of pearls. So we have to talk about all these things. What is India's stance on it? What is China-Pakistan plus one model? So there are so many things which we have to understand from exam perspective. Fine, sir. So recent trilateral engagement, China, Pakistan and Bangladesh, they held their first trilateral meeting. Anything first is important, sir. For the first time, they're having this trilateral meeting in Kunming, China. Similar meeting was held earlier with China, Pakistan and Afghanistan. So you can see here, different types of trilateral nexus is being tried by China. This initiative aims to extend China-Pakistan economic corridor and deepen regional cooperation. Now, there are certain things which are important from exam perspective. China-Pakistan economic corridor, part of, they can give you this, it is a part of BRI. That is actually correct. Belt and Road Initiative. What is Belt and Road Initiative? China is trying to recreate the Chinese Silk Route thing, which was there in the ancient age, medieval age. And this Belt and Road Initiative will be including land routes, ocean routes to around, like their aim is to cover around 170 countries. And CPEC is a part of it, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Their aim is that, how much they are able to achieve, that is a different thing altogether. So Belt and Road Initiative, CPEC is a part of it. And they are trying to connect Xinjiang province with Gwadar port. And does India welcome it? No. The India is like totally against CPEC. We criticize BRI, but the amount of criticism we have for CPEC is much more, because this China-Pakistan economic corridor will pass through Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, thereby impacting India's sovereignty. So there are so many different things which we have to keep in mind. Theek hai, sir. So now, again, you can see here, legacy of 1962, or if you go back and if we see this article from India-China or Sino-India relationship perspective, GS means paper to international relation, neighboring countries. So you will realize that around 1949, China got independence, People's Republic of China, Republic of China. We will read about it later on in world history. Then in 1950s, China occupied Tibet. We were very surprised by it. We were ambivalent about it. In the 1950s only, we propounded the philosophy of Panchashil and all those things. But even then in 1962, Sino-India War happened because China felt like we were supporting Dalai Lama, Tibetan exile, all these things, the revolts which were happening in Tibet, so to say. So after the Sino-India War of 1962, things were never the same. In 1950s, there was a saying, in the, what was the saying? Chini India, bhai, bhai, something like that. All these kind of slogans used to go on. That is the thing of the past. Now let's try to understand what is going on currently. India-China war shaped current regional alignment. China see Pakistan as a partner. Even during this particular Operation Sindoor, when you are talking about Operation Sindoor, you will realize that Pakistan used Chinese arms. So Pakistan dependence can be cited from these figures, as you can see, $29+ billion in loans, 80% of arms import. That is actually a huge number. So this amount of loans they have taken from China, and let's say they're importing 100 arms. Out of those 100 arms, 80 is from China. See, these are actually huge number. India launched Operation Sindoor. You can see here China called India's response regrettable. These wordings are very important. When you read GS mains paper to international relation, you have to understand what was US stance to India's Operation Sindoor, China and all these countries, which matters to us. So they said it regrettable. Pakistan used various Chinese made weapons. That's what we have discussed. A reaffirmation of China-Pakistan ironclad friendship followed. Like they are all-weather friend, China and Pakistan. So again, now there are certain keywords, just like we have talked about CPEC, BRI, launched in 2013. Do remember the launch year of both China-Pakistan Economic Corridor and Belt and Road Initiative, that is 2013. So now there is some other thing, China-Pakistan +1 strategy. If you go back to previous Hindu analysis, we have talked about China +1 strategy. That is generally adopted by European nation and America, where China +1 strategy was, like most of the countries of the world, they were too dependent on China for import, for like getting their goods produced in China. So that was China +1 strategy, where they were diversifying their market, where goods will be produced. India was one market, Vietnam and other countries were other markets. So China +1. This China-Pakistan +1 is a different thing altogether, where China is trying to, increase its sphere of influence by impacting or, by in a way, bringing the countries, neighboring countries of India under their influence, excluding Pakistan. Pakistan is anyway their best friend, one of their best friends. So that includes East Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, etc. So they keep on looking for opportunities. Like right now, India-Bangladesh relationship is not that good. So they are, they have made a trilateral, including Bangladesh. India has consistently. Now, Harshvi Pant sir and the other author, they are saying in this editorial, whatever India is doing is awesome. This nuclear blackmail and all those things which China, Pakistan does, we are not adhering to it. We are not getting too much, impacted by it. We are sticking to our stance and we should keep on doing that. We have suspended IWT. We'll talk about it later on, because today we have to talk about Kishan Ganga and Ratle project as well. So good morning Madhvi, good morning Harshita, good morning Rishi. So again, let's focus here. So again, these two authors, they are lauding India for the current stance which India is taking. We are not getting impacted by the nuclear blackmail thing, and that is actually a thing to, celebrate about. India's military response at Doklam and Galwan surprised China. India has increased coordination with like-minded nations. So we talk about quadrilateral security group and all those things. So again, you can understand what we are doing and we are not getting much impacted. But these two authors of the editorial, they are saying that we have to keep in mind our major enemy now is not Pakistan, it is China. If 80% of imports, arm imports, is happening from China for Pakistan, obviously, so the things which are happening or the things which are being played even by Pakistan, China has more or less some role to play in that. And we can counter it because Chinese influence has slowly and gradually decreased. How? Well, so you can see these facts here, and these are important facts which you have to use to prove how like China is doing right now. See, understand one thing, these Chinese premier, they come like currently you have Xi Jinping, which many people also state as 11 Jinping. That's just a joke. Then there was a Chinese premier earlier, his name was Deng Xiaoping. Deng Xiaoping. So all these Chinese premier, they have their own policy. Like Xi Jinping, his policy is aggressive aggrandizement. Aggressive aggrandizement. He is fighting here, there, everywhere. And that's why he has made a lot of enemies in South China Sea, etc., etc. Deng Xiaoping, his policy was hide your strength and bid your time, you know. So again, based on the policies, China's stance changes. China is currently, acquiring aggressive posture because of the policies of Xi Jinping, aggressive aggrandizement. And that's why it has alienated many of its neighbors. Or not so neighbors, but yes, you can understand where we are going with this. Maldives, you can see here, siding with India. Nepal, BRI projects facing funding issue. Sri Lanka, new president favoring India, just like Maldives. India not obstructing Nepal, Bangladesh, energy cooperation. So all these things are going on. So we don't have much to worry about, but we still have to keep an eye on what is happening in China. Good morning, Rao Sahab. Okay, sir. Changing political landscape. Now, again, as we have discussed, China, you cannot ignore China. As these two authors are saying, they keep on looking for opportunities. Opportunities are emerging in or has emerged in Afghanistan and Bangladesh because of regime change. Now India is talking with Taliban. China and Pakistan, they are not liking it. China and Pakistan fear growing India-Taliban ties may weaken Pakistan's leverage. Emerging security scenarios, you can see here. China-backed Pakistan influence could renew terror threats, create tensions, and facilitate China BRI expansion. So these are some facts which you have to keep in mind. The basic gist behind this article is, the summary of this particular article is, China, not Pakistan, is India's primary strategic, rival when you are talking about raw research and analysis wing, which was created in 1960s after Sino-India War of 1962. Their work is also should also revolve around what was China's involvement when it comes to India-Pakistan war. Was there any involvement or not? So China is using Pakistan to complicate India's regional diplomacy. India must continue to assert its, you can see here, readiness and make clear the consequences of hostile acts by neighbors. So again, if we summarize this editorial, what are the keywords important from exam perspective? Good morning, Shri Parna. CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. When was this launched? BRI, when was it launched? Now, CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, Belt and Road Initiative. Many people feel like there is an initiative which is known as String of Pearls, where China is trying to encircle India via this China-Pakistan +1 strategy. So they have influence in Hambantota port in Sri Lanka. Then there is another Kayakpayu port in Myanmar. So via these ports, exerting influence in these ports, China is trying to encircle us, and that is String of Pearl initiative. Many people feel this is also, getting impacted by the BRI project, Belt and Road Initiative. CPEC is a part of BRI project. So remember these things. These are important facts which you have to keep in mind from exam perspective. Now let's solve MCQ1 based on what we have read. So Krishi and Rishi, they always answer at the same time. And Amal, Ravi, Mamta, Gyan, they have answered it. So what are the statements which are correct related to CPEC? Flagship project under BRI, yes, launched in 2013. Connects China, Xinjiang region to Pakistan, Gwadar, correct? India does not support it. It impacts India's sovereignty. So why will we support it? The answer is A, 1 and 2 only, as stated by Krishi, Rishi, Amal, Ravi, Mamta, Gyan, Jivayan, and Monica. Very good, yeah. Second statement, the term string of pearls is often associated with India's naval defense strategy in Andaman, a cultural diplomacy campaign by China, China's strategic network of ports and infrastructure in Indian Ocean, ASEAN's regional security framework. Rishi. In our time, there used to be an actor. His name was Rishi Kapoor. He was the father of Ranbir Kapoor. These days I'm listening to a song. Dil dhunta. In our time, there used to be a song like this. In our time, there used to be actors like Sanjeev Kumar. Now, so what is the answer of string of pearls, bros? Mamta, Ravi, Krishi. String of pearls is China's strategic network of ports and infrastructure in Indian Ocean. Very good. Who answered it? So Mamta, Ravi, Krishi, Rishi, Jivayan, Gyan, they have answered it. Third MCQ of the day. Which of the following statement about India's response to BRI and CPEC is or are correct? India has officially joined the Belt and Road Initiative. India suspended trade and water sharing arrangements with Pakistan post terror attacks. India supports trilateral engagements led by China in South Asia. Correct option 1 and 2, 2, 1 and 3, all of the above. So India has not joined BRI. We hate it, you know. So if we hate it, then everything is gone, bro. Go, Goa, gone. A, C, D is gone. You are left with B2 only. Even if you know that India has not joined it, the story ended. India does not support these trilateral engagement which China is having. First meeting with, China, Pakistan and Bangladesh. So we do not support it. I know, Madhu. Answer is B. MCQ 3. Answer is B. Next article of the day, very important from art and culture because Kalinga style of architecture, art and culture, people hate it. So news is there, page 6, lakhs of devotees throng Puri to witness Rath Yatra, 600 hospitalized due to heat. This is one of the Char Dhams. Puri is one of the Char Dhams of Hinduism. You have to answer me what are the other 3 Dhams. We have to talk about this particular Dham where they are celebrating Lord Jagannath, Lord Balabhadra, Devi Subhadra, Lord Jagannath, Lord Krishna, incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Who is Lord Balabhadra? He is Balaram, elder brother of Krishna, and the sister of these two is Devi Subhadra. So what happens in this Puri Rath Yatra? So, there is a expedition which happens. Expedition is not the exact word. There is a yatra which happens from Puri temple to another temple which is supposed to be the house or the Mossy's house of these deities. This is actually so fascinating. I will tell you. So first of all, let's try to understand this. Then we'll go and we'll try to understand Kalinga style of architecture. What is Jagmohana? What is Mandapa or the Mandapa? There are so many different terms which you have to understand from exam perspective. Temple architecture is very important and most of the people, they hate temple architecture. Oh my God. So the festival celebrates the siblings, Lord Jagannath, Krishna Bhagwan, Lord Balabhadra, that is Balram, and Devi Subhadra, their sister. Heavy security was deployed, all these things are going on. One of the Char Dhams, and again there are questions which have been raised. 600 pilgrims, they were hospitalized. So should it happen in this particular period? If it happens, then there will be, there has to be some more arrangement so that these things don't happen. Already there is too much arrangement in Odisha, but you can see there are so many things which are happening. But again, let's move on. So chariots move forward. Now there are again some terms. Gundicha temple. So what happens in this Rath Yatra? The deities, these 3 deities, 2 brothers, 1 sister, they go to Gundicha temple. What is there in Gundicha temple? This is the end point. So they go there because this is their Mossy's place, mother, sister's place. So they will stay there for 7 days and then again they will come back to Puri temple. Oh my God. So remember this, they can ask you, Gundicha temple, it's not very far from Puri temple, Jagannath temple, but they go there because their Mossy live there. So very important. So North Badrinath, East Puri, South Rameshwaram, West Dwarka. You people are so awesome, just like a wow. Okay, sir. So again, Gundicha temple, most of the people, they may not have heard about it. You have to remember it because this is Krishna Bhagwan Mossy's place. Now, if we talk about Kalinga architecture, there are certain terms which we have to keep in mind. You have Garbhagriha. This is your Garbhagriha, which is also known as Sanctum Sanctorum, where your main deity is placed. Above this, and this is one type of Kalinga architecture, is one type of Nagara style, Dravida style, Vishra style. So this is one type of Nagara style where the Shikhara is known as Duela. The Shikhara above Garbhagriha is known as Rekha Duela. Again, just remember Duela. Duela architecture associated with Kalinga. Duela is another name for Shikhara, this thing. And then you have something known as Mandapa. Many people don't understand the basic meaning of this Garbhagriha and Mandapa. What happens when you enter into temple? You will not directly go to Garbhagriha or Sanctum Sanctorum. You will go through a hallway. And this particular hallway is known as Mandapa. Now, Mandapas are also of different types. Main Mandapa, Ardha Mandapa. In Kalinga style, in Odisha style, Mandapas are known as Jagmohana. So these are important terms which you have to keep in mind. Very good. Okay, so this is what is written here. In general, Sikhara called as dwell in Odisha. So remember this word. And mandapas are known as Jagmohana. What is the basic difference between mandapa and Garbhagriha? All these things are very important. Now let's solve some questions. So MCQ 4. Which of the following statement about Lord Balbhadra is correct? So he is considered an incarnation of Lord Vishnu's Sudarshan Chakra. He is depicted holding a conch and discus. He is the elder brother of Lord Jagannath and symbolizes strength and agriculture. He rides the Nandi Ghosh chariot during Rath Yatra. So who is Lord Balbhadra? Most of the people, they know about Lord Jagannath, but many people will not know about Lord Balbhadra. So the answer is, as stated by you people, elder brother of Lord Jagannath, and so many people answered it that I have to scroll the comment section now. Rishi, Krishi, Madhubala, oh my god, Madhubala is there. Amal, Ravi, Shayada, Shriparna, Madhvi, Jivayan, Mamta, Gyan. No issues, Satya? Satya. Bhiku Matre. Now, Gundicha temple is associated with which of the following traditions? The birthplace of Lord Jagannath, the end point of Rath Yatra procession, the cremation of idols during Nabakale Bara, my Odia friends, pardon me for the phonetics part, the kitchen where Mahaprasad is prepared. So, what is Gundicha temple? We have talked about Gundicha temple. What is the basic meaning, or why, like, what is the association of Gundicha temple here? Nandi Ghosh, Jagannath chariot. Very good, yaar. So the chariot of Jagannath is known as Nandi Ghosh. So as you people are saying, Gundicha temple is the end point of Rath Yatra procession. This is the Mausi's place of, Lord Jagannath, Balbhadra and their sister. Theek again, people, if you're gaining something out of it, like, share, subscribe, spread this video, this analysis as far as possible. For your own benefit, for my benefit, for our benefit, as our Honorable PM Sir says, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas, and then some more Sabka Sabka. So that should happen. So now let's talk about the third article of the day. Now this is an interesting article. Oh my God. One of the most important article of the day, if not the most important article, even more important than editorials. Why? Because there are keywords. What are the keywords? What is court of arbitration? The other keyword, where is Kishan Ganga project located? Is it a tributary of any river? Which river? Where is Ratle hydropower project located? Then their association with Indus Water Treaty. Then why India and Pakistan are fighting over it? What is India's stance on court of arbitration? So again, there are multiple things which are involved in this article, which is important from exam perspective. So what is happening here? So as we have just discussed, like as you people know, Operation Sindoor and Pakistani terrorists, they killed our tourist in Pahalgam, and then we suspended this Indus Water Treaty. So temporary suspension it is, and now again temporary suspension is there. Now let's try to understand. In this water treaty you have different rivers. If I show you certain things, and then we'll talk about this particular issue. So let me show you certain stuff. This is one of the most important article. You have to understand this article because it has ramification for other things also. So if you look at Indus Water Treaty, you will realize that there are certain rivers, Jhelum, Chenab, Indus, if you see it, most of the water will be used by Pakistan. But it's not like India cannot use it. We can use it for certain limited purposes. We have exclusive privilege of Satluj, Beas and Ravi River. Since river water sharing is a very sensitive issue, So because of that, what happens? Dispute happens between India and Pakistan, upstream, downstream rivers. If we are, let's say, making Kishan Ganga project, then what will be the impact of that on the river which will be flowing downstream to Pakistan? So there are different disputes which happens, and dispute resolution has to be done by Indus Water Treaty. Now India is like, dude, Pakistan, why do you keep on crying and keep on going to like World Bank because they have brokered Indus Water Treaty? Pakistan is like, we are just like that and we love to do that, so we'll again go to World Bank. So what World Bank did was, they created an organization, a court, which is known as Court of Arbitration, to resolve these kind of disputes, river water disputes related to these rivers, Indus and its tributaries. India says that we don't need Court of Arbitration because we already have neutral observers, neutral people who can decide on these kind of disputes. So you don't need court of arbitration. India does not support court of arbitration. So hope you are understanding where we are going with this. Now there are different issues like Kishan Ganga project, Ratle project, and again we are making these projects. What is this run of the river project? We have to talk about a lot of things. And then Pakistan starts crying that no, you are making these projects, they will divert river, they will impact the flow of river in our region, so we will not allow it, we don't like it. And then certain court of arbitration, certain results came and certain things happened which we have to discuss. So because this particular issue involves so many other issues, so this article becomes the most important article of the day. So let's go slowly. In our time there used to be a singer, he used to sing songs slowly. So let's go slowly. Okay. So now, India rejects Court of Arbitration award. India has categorically, again, so Pakistan is again crying right now. Why Pakistan is crying? Because we have unilaterally abrogated Indus Water Treaty. When Indus Water Treaty was brokered in 1960 by World Bank between India and Pakistan, then there was a provision that, like, one country cannot unilaterally abrogate it. India is like, no. This is an exceptional scenario. Terror attacks cannot keep on going and we will not do anything. We will do something, and we have done this thing and we have suspended this. So again, Pakistan is crying. They have gone to court of arbitration. They are crying about again Kishan Ganga and Ratle project. We'll talk about them, where they are located, what is their significance and their current status. Just be with me. Tikashe. So where were we? So non-recognition of court of arbitration. India stated it has never recognized the legality or existence of court of arbitration. Remember who created court of arbitration? World Bank. World Bank created it under the framework of Indus Water Treaty. We are saying that no, we don't believe in court of arbitration. We don't believe in your Indus Water Treaty. In Hindi, it is like bhaad mein jaye sab kuch. That means everything goes to hell until unless you control your terror activities. Following the April 22 terror attack in Pahalgam, India has placed Indus Water Treaty in, remember this word, abeyance. Again, a tongue twister. You have to understand the correct stance. Many people are like, Indus Water Treaty has been scrapped, this and that. No, this is the exact word. The meaning is, it is a temporary suspension. If Pakistan improves their conduct, it becomes a good child and start doing activities like a good child, maybe we'll think, and does not sponsor terrorism. So again, this is the word temporary suspension, abeyance. Illegal and void proceeding. External Affairs Ministry declared the arbitral proceedings. They are saying we don't need court of arbitration in like under Indus Water Treaty by World Bank, we already have neutral parties. Pakistan objections. Pakistan had objected to the design of Kishan Ganga and Ratle power project. Now we have to understand, where is Kishan Ganga located? It is a tributary of which river? Where is Ratle located? It is a tributary of which river? All these things are important. After failed discussion until 2015, unilaterally approached World Bank, and in 2016 to establish court of arbitration. So you will solve a lot of questions on this particular article. You will remember each and everything. Don't worry. Pakistan cried slowly. India stand on unilateral action. India has constantly, again, you can read this thing, maintained that Pakistan moved to involve World Bank was a unilateral and unauthorized action. India is like, be man to man, bro, Pakistan. Talk to me if you have some problem. Why are you involving third party? It's like, again, I will just give you an allegory. Husband and wife are talking. Wife involves her family. Bro, talk to me if you have issues with me. Why third party? What is this? So India is saying that to Pakistan. Pakistan is not listening. Ministry emphasized that India as a sovereign nation is not bound to honor the treaty while it is an abeyance, that is temporary suspension, and that no court, including the so-called court of arbitration under World Bank, has jurisdiction over its action. We are free to do whatever we want to do. It's not like Pakistan can do anything and get away with it. So condemnation, again you can see this arbitration process. Ministry labeled the arbitration process a charade at Pakistan's behest. So many people feel like court of arbitration is siding with Pakistan, World Bank is siding with Pakistan. We don't like it, and we are not accepting whatever is like stated by court of arbitration. Now you have to understand these things. Like, what is it? What is court of arbitration? It is a mechanism established under an Annexure G of IWT in the Water Treaty of 1960 to resolve dispute. And that happened when Pakistan cried, and then World Bank created it. It is not a permanent, oh my god, if some person from Pakistan watches it, Be ready for the comments. Which will never happen. Pakistan never be a good person, right, Mamta? It is not a permanent body. They can ask you this, that court of arbitration is a permanent body. No, it is constituted whenever Pakistan cries, you know. So typically at Pakistan's request and with the involvement of a third party like World Bank. So hope you can understand it. This is not a permanent body. Now, other important keywords associated with this article. Kishanganga hydroelectric project, where is it located? Kishanganga river. What is the name of Kishanganga in Pakistan? Neelam river. In our time, there used to be an actress. Her name was Neelam. She used to do movies with Govinda. Govinda was also a good actor. So Neelam, that's how you can remember Neelam and Kishanganga. Bandipura district, it is in, and I will show you Kishanganga and what happens to it. Let me just show it to you. Then we'll talk about it. So this is Kishanganga project, Ratle project on Chenab river. Do remember, they can ask you this. Ratle project is constructed on Jhelum river, this and that river. The answer is Chenab river. Oh my God. And let's first of all see Kishanganga. So this is the hierarchy of Kishanganga. Kishanganga called as Neelam in Pakistan, just like, you know, Ganga and Brahmaputra, they enter into Bangladesh, they are named as something else. What is the name of Ganga in Brahmaputra, like Bangladesh, and Brahmaputra in Bangladesh, which is known as Padma, which is known as Jamuna. So you have to remember it. So Neelam river, and then it joins Jhelum river. So it's a tributary of Jhelum river. That's what you have to remember. Oh my God, very good. Okay. Now let's come back. So it is in Bandipura district. It is a run of the river project. Again, see how many keywords are there in this article. What is a run of the river project? I made a video some time back related to why Siang river in new. Siang river is a river in Arunachal. Then, you know, it's actually Yarlung Zangpo. It enters into Assam, called as Brahmaputra. So there they are making mega dams. So on Siang river, which will impact the flow of the river to a greater extent. The other, like, authors, environmentalists, they talk about that rather than mega dams, we can think about making run of the river project. Even if we don't go into the technicalities, unlike mega dams, which significantly alter the flow of the river, a run of the river project does not significantly alter the flow of the river. And you know, the environmental impact are very less. So this is like impacting, it's, you can see here, it diverts water without major storage, and it's a very, like, it has very less environmental impact as compared to mega dams. And that's what we were saying to Pakistan, that bro, don't worry too much about it. Neelam is fine. Nothing is happening to Neelam. You know, even when it goes to Pakistan, because it's a run of the river project, it's not a mega dam, bro. So why are you crying so much? Diverts water from Kishanganga river to Jhelum basin via 33-kilometer tunnel, but it's a run of the river project. The impact is not that much. It's not a mega dam. Ganga, Padma, Brahmaputra, Jamuna. Very good. So Kishanganga project, Ratle project, Chenab river, Kishanganga, a tributary of Jhelum river. Again, just keep it in mind. Ratle hydroelectric project, Chenab river in Kishtwar district. Key features again, 850 megawatt. Again, this is a run of the river project. So we are continuously saying, unlike Siang river, where we are planning to make mega dams, we are not doing that here. It is not getting, like, you will not be impacted that much, Pakistan. So don't cry. Fine. Now, this is the current status of Kishanganga and Ratle. Kishanganga objections were raised by Pakistan. Arbitration happened. India allowed to proceed. Operational since 2018. So, it is going on. Ratle dispute since 2013. Pakistan again sought court of arbitration, and under development work resumed. So, even howsoever Pakistan cried, we are continuing with Kishanganga and Ratle project. Hope you understood some part of it. You need to solve a lot of questions. Only then you will be able to remember all these facts. Very good. Okay. Now let's solve some question. MCQ 6 of the day. Court of arbitration related to the Indus Water Treaty was established under the auspices of which organization? United UNSC ICZ. Oh my God, so many people. Sonika has come. Very good, Sonika. Like Amal was missing you, Rishi was also missing you. Very Sonika, they were saying. So Madhvi, Amal, Rishi, Jivayan, Madhubala, Ravi, Elva, Krishi, Mamta, Shripanna, Sonika, Satya, Anuj, everybody answered it. World Bank, very good. Under the Indus Water Treaty, which of the following rivers are, like you can write here, majorly allocated for use by India? Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Vyas, Satluj, Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, all rivers of Indus Basin equally. Good morning, Sonika. Majorly allocated. Why majorly? Because we can use the other three rivers also for limited purposes. So Jeevayan, Madhubala, Monica, Amal, Chandru, Krishi, Mamta, Rishi, Satya, all of you have answered. India has been allocated, bro, Ravi, Vyas and Satluj. Are you people Gajini's fan? Short-term memory loss? See here. There was a movie in our time, it was known as Gajini of Amir Khan, where he used to forget stuff. We have just seen Satluj, Vyas, Ravi, India's rights over these rivers. How come so many people got confused here? That's why we have to practice. That's why you have to solve a lot of questions. Easier said than done. Because there are so many facts involved, you can easily get, deviated here. Good morning, Mithun. In our time, there used to be an actor, Mithun Chakravarti. And there was a movie of his, try to solve this question, where Prem Chopra asked him something like that. I forgot. Kahan Raja Bhoj, kahan Gangu Teli? That means, where is Raja Bhoj, where is Gangu Teli? Then Mithun Chakravarti says that, where are those two people? I don't know. Wo dono kahan hai? I don't know. That's awesome movie. Again, let's focus, bros. You people deviate me by your talks. So, which of the following correctly describes India's stance on Court of Arbitration Supplemental Award in 2025? India fully accepted the award. India accepted the award with conditions. India rejected it, citing sovereignty. India challenged it in the UN. वो दोनों कहाँ है मेरे को नहीं पता. So we are like, we don't like it. Pakistan cries and World Bank creates court of arbitration. What is this? So we rejected it, citing sovereignty. So the answer is C. Very good. Next article of the day. On page number 13, India reports current account surplus of $13.5 billion in quarter 4 fiscal year 25. Now, to understand this particular article, we have to understand certain terms of economy. If you have, like many of you may have heard about these terms. If you have not, you have to understand these terms. You will encounter these terms a lot. Balance of payment. So what is balance of payment? See, understand one thing. World is like Trump. Trump means what? World is like orange? No. World is like, it's all quid pro quo, transactional. Import and export happens. There is a balance. Let's say, like the overall, the BOP of the world is zero. Some country is exporting more, some country is importing more. All these things are happening. Now, export and import happens of different things, like goods and services. So, if you focus here on the current account part, you have something known as visible and something known as invisible. Visible means export and import of goods. That is balance of trade, BOT we call it. And then invisible is services income transfer. There's a mnemonic for it, SIT. Just listen to it like a story, you will understand where I'm going with this. So this whole current account thing, and then there is something called as capital account. So you are doing export and import of goods here in the visible commodity. In the invisible commodity, you have services. We go to US, we provide our services in IT sector, all these things. And then we get paid for it. Then there are some people in West Asia who sent us money, that is remittances. So all these things are here in the current account. Let's say, after calculating all these things, even like we import more rather than we export more, and it is a negative. Let's say current account becomes negative. That means more money is going out of our country than it is coming into our country. Then to run our country, we have to offset this current account deficit. We do it by capital account surplus. We try to take some loan, we try to invite some companies like Amazon, etc. to come to India to invest. So there comes this picture, loan, banking capital, FDI, FPI. Hope I made some sense, because this thing will come again and again. You will read it again and again, you will remember it. So the basic premise here is this whole world is transactional in nature. One country's gain is other country's loss. The balance of payment of this whole world is actually, is zero. Like, if you add every country's export, import, everything, it will be zero. So again, what we are trying to understand here, generally what happens, the trend is India remains in current account deficit. We more or less remains in current account deficit that we offset by capital account surplus. China is a different matter altogether. China generally remains in current account surplus and they have capital account deficit. We slowly and gradually want to become like China, where we have current account surplus. You can understand capital account is not that good because more or less it is hovering around borrowing. It's not exactly totally borrowing, but more or less it is hovering around borrowing. So it's beneficial if you have more and more current account surplus. And that is what is happening right now when we are looking at this particular news. India reports current account surplus of $13.5 billion in Q4 fiscal year 25. People, please, so I want to screenshot. Rishi, I will give my life for you. What is this screenshot? See this. Take a screenshot, Rishi. Let me go somewhere, some other side. Once you have taken the screenshot, do tell me. People, also tell me one thing. Have you people heard about balance of payment? Chepandis. Have you heard about balance of payment earlier? What is the basic meaning of balance of payment? Rishi, Harshita, Madhvi, Anuj, Monica, Amal, Ravi, Satya, Sriparna and others. I think you have taken a screenshot, Rishi. You can take it afterwards also. I will share this particular PDF by the end of this class, so don't worry about it. Now let's focus what we are discussing. This is the news, page 13. India reports current account surplus of $13.5 billion in Q4 fiscal year 2025. As we have discussed, we as a country generally remain in current account deficit and capital account surplus. That is not good for our country in general, We want to be current account surplus like China. And this is actually a very, very good figure. If you see, we currently have a current account surplus of $13.5 billion in this particular quarter. Quarter is fine, but whole year in general, we want to have a current account surplus. But this is a good, very good news. Improvement from a surplus of $4.6 billion. Last fiscal year, in the same quarter, we had current account surplus of 4.6 billion. Now we have 13.5 billion. You can see how much increase has happened, more than 3 times. It contrasts with the deficit of 11.3 billion. In the previous quarter of this fiscal year, we had a current account deficit, which is normally the trend. So this is again a good thing for India and we should be happy about it. Now, they are talking about, see, again, if we go back to this figure, in this current account surplus scenario, we are currently in this quarter in current account surplus. But there are different components, visible and invisible. In the visible component, we are in deficit. That is what author is saying here. The merchandise trade deficit, the deficit rose to 59. Why we are in surplus? Because our remittances is a good amount. Services, factor income, all these things combined, they help us in offsetting this merchandise deficit. Because India, we are a developing nation, so we generally import more goods than we export it. Hope again I'm making some sense. It is just the total transaction we are doing with the world. Exactly, Krishi. So in 1921, we faced balance of payment crisis. That's why for loan, we have to open our economy. Very good, Madhvi. Madhvi is such a good girl. In our school, there used to be a senior of ours, Madhvi Bharti. Let's focus here. So merchandise trade deficit. We have seen in the current account part, we have a trade deficit, which rose to $59.5 billion from last quarter. Last year's quarter, it's actually a big number, almost $7.5 billion. We don't have to remember these figures. What we have to understand is that we are doing good in current account side. It has 2 components, major visible and invisible. In visible, we are in deficit, that is goods like import and export of goods. In the invisible category, which is SIT, services, income and transfer, there we have a surplus. And here also in the visible category, that is import and export of goods, we are doing better than the last year's quarter. You can see here. Trade deficit, no, in fact, not last year, the previous quarter of this year. So previous quarter of this year, we had trade deficit of around $79 billion. This particular quarter, we have $59.5 billion. So we have reduced our merchandise trade deficit, our visible trade deficit. Hope you can understand some part of it. So this thing we have to reduce. The deficit here we have to reduce. We are doing good when it comes to especially services and transfer. We can do much better in income factor also. But yes, as far as remittances and services are concerned, very few countries in the world can rival us in that regard. So that is actually a good thing. So net services receipt, again, they're talking about different figures. In services sector, this particular sector, they are talking about different figures. Services, you can understand from this that we go to US, H1B visa, we provide services, transport, communication, all these things, IT, all these comes under services. Increased to $53.3 billion from last year's quarter, fiscal year 24. Again, we are doing good. Higher export in business services and computer services. Primary income, net outgo moderated to, like again, you can see here. This is the second part we are discussing. Again, if we go deeper into this current account, we have some issues in merchandise, we remain in deficit. We do awesome in the invisible services and transfer sector. Income sector is little bit in doldrums. We can do much better here. And that is what the numbers are also suggesting. Again, you will understand it. The more you solve the different questions, the more you look at these things. Don't worry too much about it. Even if you understood some part of it, awesome. So again, remittances is like the amount which comes from our diaspora, from outside. You see this, rose to around $34 billion in this particular quarter from the previous year's quarter 4. So it's also increasing. Foreign direct investment. Now, this is the part which we are discussing. This is not in the current account. This is in the capital account. All these things are important. They can ask you this, that, FDI is a part of current account. No, FDI is a part of capital account. Now, there are different words here. FDI, FPI, foreign direct investment. FPI is foreign portfolio investment or foreign institutional investment. So, this FPI or FII is more volatile in nature. Tom Cruise, he's making Mission Impossible movie. He invested in some shares in India. If he's seeing that shares are not performing, he will take out that money. It's volatile. It comes under FPI, FII. But let's say Amazon comes in Hyderabad, set up their factory, invest in India. That comes under FDI, less volatile than FPI or FII. Hope I am making some meaning here. Very good. Okay, let's focus. So FDI recorded a net inflow of $0.4 billion. This is lower than 2. Again, we will be less dependent on FDI, FPI if our current account works awesome. So let's keep our fingers crossed and let's see and let's hope that this whole current account surplus, it remains in the next year quarter as well. Fine, sir. Let's solve some MCQ. This particular question is based on the previous article which we have discussed. So what is the difference between current and capital account? So generally, as we have discussed, Satya, what current account is what? It is generally the import and exports of goods and services. Current account, import and export of goods and services. And then capital account is, let's say you have a current account deficit. You are importing more rather than you are exporting, rather than your export. So that means more money is going from your country, less money is coming into your country. You are in a deficit. You have to finance your deficit. One way of financing your deficit is your capital account. Hope you understood some part of it. I described it, Satya. Hope you understood it. And I will describe it more and more in subsequent lectures. That is the beauty of newspaper analysis. You will see this news multiple number of times. So even if you understood some part of it, Satya, right now, this news will come again in some other form. We will discuss it again then and you will understand more aspects of it. So Ratle hydroelectric project is being constructed on Chenab River as stated by so many people. Amal, Monica, Gyan, Rishi, Elva, Mamta, Madhubala, Anuj, Shriparna. Very good. Oh, MCQ 10. Which of the following best explains a current account surplus? See, you already understood it, Satya. Where are you from, Satya? So, Satya, this is MCQ 10. What is the answer of MCQ 10? What is current account surplus? When a country's foreign direct investment exceeds portfolio investment, when the value of a country's import exceeds its exports, when the total inflow from export services, remittances and income exceed outflows, when the central bank's reserves increase due to capital account transactions. So, Mamta, Gyan, Rishi, Jivayan, Shriparna, Krishi, they have given the answer. When the total inflow from export services, remittances and income exceed outflows, that is current account surplus. Very good. Okay, sir. Next article of the day. Assam and Mizoram, our northeastern states, they have drafted rules to curb illegal immigration. Now, understand one more thing. There's one immigration like I immigration. There's another immigration with E. These two immigrations are not same. This immigration with E means you are exiting a country. And this immigration with I means you are entering into a country. So let's say you immigrated from India and you immigrated to US. So you immigrated from India with an E and you immigrated to US with an I. So there are so many people who are entering into our northeastern states, Assam and Mizoram. Assam, they are mainly perturbed by the Bangladeshi people, illegal Bangladeshi occupants. Mizoram is mainly perturbed by the Myanmar, the occupants who are coming. So they are taking or looking into measures to do stuff. What Assam is doing, in Assam, there are certain states. I will give you one figure and then we'll discuss this. So let's try to understand this. First of all, let me show you that. So there are certain areas, you can see here, there are certain regions in Assam, Barpeta, Dhubri, Morigaon, Nagaon. I was there in Assam. So that's how they pronounce the names. Awesome place, cute people. So many festivals, 3 types of Bihu festival. So again, let's focus here. So you can understand why this particular data in Assam, there are 100 people, but 103 people have Aadhaar coverage. So what do these particular data tell you? That there are some illegal occupants. There are some occupants which have got Aadhaar. And when you get Aadhaar, you get a lot of benefits associated with it, In a way, many people believe Aadhaar is a proof of citizenship. It is not. Don't go by that preconceived notion. Sir, I am from Karnataka state. Very good, Mustaf. West Bengal. Nice. So what I'm saying is, Hemanta Biswa Sarma sir is saying that some immigrants illegally obtained Aadhaar cards and they have to keep a curb on it. So now only the district collector will be issuing, only district commissioners will be authorized to issue Aadhaar cards. This is the situation in Assam. Mizoram is dealing with it differently and we have to understand this. Why? Because in GS3 you have something known as internal security and you have to talk about these issues. What is happening? BSF personnel patrol the India-Bangladesh border at Golakganj in Dhubri district. Okay, let's focus here. So what has happened? Assam and Mizoram, they have increased restrictions and Assam's new Aadhaar policy. Now we can understand why they have this particular Aadhaar policy and why only district commissioners will be authorized to issue Aadhaar cards to adult citizens, because there are so many districts where people are lesser and Aadhaar cards are more. So pushback of, again you can see here, Aadhaar vulnerabilities, discrepancies were found in 4 districts. These districts have a high, again, we are not going into the, I have told you the basic premise, what is happening in Assam. Now let's talk about what is happening in Mizoram. When you have a look at Mizoram, Mizoram borders Myanmar. So people from Myanmar, because there is a war which is going on, civil war in Myanmar, so they are coming to Mizoram. When you will read post-independent India, you will read about integration of northeastern states. So there you will see that there was a time when Myanmar government was enticing Mizoram to become a part of Myanmar, because Myanmar government was saying that Mizoram will have a more say in the national affairs of Myanmar than India. Again, if you look at the current the status of India, amount of Lok Sabha seats which northeastern states has, I have been to Mizoram, Aizawl. There is an inner line permit you require. People, you'll be like, sir, you have gone to anywhere. I have visited a lot of places. I am that gumi kind of a boy. So you need an inner line permit. I went on a Sunday. It was total shutdown because it's a Christian state. More than 80% of population of Mizoram is, they are Christian and they do go to church and all those stuff. But in Mizoram, there is a certain section which has which is closer to Myanmar. You can understand. Not all people, but because you can see there are issues with us also. We have to increase the representation of northeastern states when it comes to Lok Sabha representation. We are talking about this delimitation, etc. But we have to also think about northeastern states, how we can do away with the so-called alienation feeling among them. So that's why I'm telling you this background. You should know about these things. Bohag Bihu, Magh Bihu, Katil Bihu. Right. So Mizoram CM, he is saying certain things. He proposed confiscating ID cards of Myanmar nationals crossing the border. In that regard, what I have told you, Mizoram, Myanmar, all these things, how some political parties, they want closer affiliation with Myanmar. Not all, some I am saying, because of this whole thing is panning out. So Mizoram issue is different from Assam issue. Assam is totally frustrated by Bangladesh. Mizoram has issues with Myanmar. Okay, sir. Again, you can see here acknowledging the refugee crisis from Myanmar civil war. He emphasized that while again you can see this thing. Proposed action in Mizoram. Myanmar issued identity documents will be seized for the duration. So here the plan of action is different than the plan of action in Assam. Strict action is promised against misuse of refugee status. Theek hai, sir. So again, let's solve this particular question. The Mizoram government proposed a temporary confiscation of identity documents belonging to nationals of which country? Bohag Bihu, Mahag Bihu, Kati Bihu. So the answer is D. That is Myanmar. Very good. Now, page 14. From I think last 2, 3, 4 days of Hindu analysis, we have not talked about Israel-Iran war because we have talked about it a lot in the previous Hindu analysis. Everybody's talking about it. But our Trump man, our tariff man, our orange man, again with due respect to Trump sir here, he keeps on saying stuff, one step after the other. He's like a credit monger. So now he has said something. I saved Iran's Khamenei from ignominious death. Now he's saying certain things that we knew about the location of Khamenei. Where was Khamenei? Or we are talking about the supreme leader of Iran, and we could have killed him, we spared him, and now Iran is saying that they have won this particular war against Israel and US, and then he's saying that we will again bomb Iran if again Iran does or in keep on enriching the uranium facility beyond civil use. So he has given some statement, but there is a way of giving statement. You have to understand you are not anybody. You are the president of US, and the way he has framed these statements, that does not sound good, looks good. And then we have to also do a recap of Iran-Israel war. It's approximately of 12 days. We know what happened. IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, you can go back to my previous Hindu analysis. They said that they imposed some sanctions on Iran because they enriched uranium beyond civilian uses. Then Israel cited that Iran has enriched uranium to such an extent that they can make multiple nuclear bombs within 10 to 15 days, and that's why they bombed Iran. And then Iran, in like reciprocity, they also bombed Israel. All these things is just the foreground. The background is why Israel does not like Iran, because there are so many proxy non-state actors sponsored by Iran like Hezbollah, Hamas, which in a way try to destabilize Israel. So this 12 days war, so-called 12 days war, has ended after a ceasefire. Now Iran is saying that they have defeated Israel and US, and that's why Trump sir, the orange man, he is not very happy about it. So he's saying that we did not kill Ali Khamenei, but we can always do that. We knew the location. US would bomb Iran again without question if it continued to enrich uranium. And again, you can see here, Trump stated that he had been considering lifting sanctions, but he's not liking this current stance of Iran where they are saying that they defeated Israel and US. And again, this whole thing is an excuse for us to revise the stuff which we have discussed. Please revise Fordow nuclear facility, where we have discussed Fordow nuclear facility, why it was so much important for Iran, what is the current status of Fordow nuclear facility. All these things are important from exam perspective. Okay, sir. Iran denies nuclear talks, Trump rebucks. Again, you can see all these things. Moral critique. Let's solve a question now. So we have talked about some articles. Let's solve some PYQs, some random PYQs, because PYQs are important. This is a PYQ in front of you. A PYQ. A basic PYQ which we should know. So 12th question of the day, a question which was asked by UPSC in 2020. Which of the following categories? Now, these are the kind of questions we are reading. Hindu. We are reading mostly dynamic portion, which has some relation with static portion. But there will be some questions asked by UPSC which will be completely static. This is one such static question asked not that long back in 2020. If you are making mistake in these questions, then this is not good. As they say in Hindi, Nadi kinare saap hai, padha hua galat karna paap hai. That means alongside a river bank there is a snake, and if you are making mistake in these kind of questions, it's a sin. Oh my God. So many people answered it. It's under means abolition of untouchability, Article 17. It is under right to equality, Article 14 to 18. Now, there is one question for you. There was a survey which was done by Indian Express or Hindu, I don't know, but I don't remember exactly. But they asked, like if I ask Taring, Monica, and Mahantesh, Madhvi, Mamta, Rishi, and other people, do you keep separate utensil for the working person in your house? Does your mother keep separate utensils for working people in your house? If she does or he does or anybody who they do that, do you think it's a form of untouchability? It's a very important question. These kind of questions are asked in like mains, more so in interview. So what is your view on that? Write it in the comment section. In the meantime, let's solve this PYQ 13th question of the day. Again, these are static question. In like sometimes what happens, we don't know how to maintain the balance between dynamic and static portion. Dynamic is fine, current affairs are fine, but you cannot forget your static portion. In India, separation of judiciary from executive is enjoined by preamble. Preamble we discussed yesterday. Socialism, secularism, words to be removed. So never ever leave static portion. DPSP 7 schedule, conventional practice. So Amal, Rishi, Anuj, Shriparna, Madhavi, Jivayan. So the answer is DPSP. Separation of judiciary from executive, Article 50. 36 to 51, that is DPSP. Now, what is the basic meaning here? Earlier, if you had become a, DM, district magistrate, you also had judicial power. See, there are three organs: legislature, executive, judiciary. Legislature makes laws, executive implement laws, judiciary checks constitutionality of laws. Inside executive, you have permanent executive, political executive. Permanent executive will be you people when you are becoming civil servant. Political executive are these people, PM, CM, who are there for 5 years. So, what was happening when you are a DM, you are a permanent executive, but you are also doing judicial functions, you are also a judicial magistrate, etc. So executive and judiciary both work were combined and given to you. That goes against the principle of separation of power given by Montesquieu. To do away and to promote separation of power, Article 50 talks about separation of judiciary from executive, and that's why these days district magistrate, etc., they don't have that much judicial powers. So the answer is B, DPSP, Directive Principle of State Policy. Hope you understood some part of it. PYQ 14, based on economy. You should know these terms. These static terms will be helpful when you are reading or doing, newspaper reading and analysis. What is the closed economy? A closed economy is an economy very good. Shriparna, Krishi, Madhubala, Gaurav, Mishra ji. Oh my God. Jivayan, Madhvi, Elva, they have given the answer. So the answer is a closed economy is an economy where neither export nor import takes place. None of the country in the world is an example of closed economy. Brazil comes very close to being called a closed economy. Shriparna talked about North Korea. If you know some more countries which are very close to being called a closed economy, you can write it. Now opening for tourism, by the way. Very good. PYQ 15 of the day, based on geography, again a static concept, again a concept which should be known to you, because these kind of questions we should not make mistake. These are the questions which has to be done correct. Which one of the following reflects back more sunlight as compared to the other three? Sand desert, paddy cropland, land covered with forest, fresh snow, prairie land. We have done a lot of dynamic thing today. But at the same time, I will also try to ensure that we are also doing some static in every Hindu analysis at the end, so that you maintain a balance between static and dynamic. So Shriparna, Chandru, Jivayan, Madhubala, all of you have answered. So this is a question related to albedo. When you will read geography, you will read basic geography. This talks about the reflectivity, a reflective property of a entity. That's why people say wear white, because when you're wearing white, more light will be reflected back. If you're wearing black, it will be absorbing more sunlight. So the things which reflect more light, they have more albedo. So land covered with fresh snow, they will reflect more sunlight, and that's why you may have seen people who go to hilly areas, they wear glasses, sunglasses, not because they want to look cool, maybe they do, but the other reason is the snow reflects a lot of sunlight and that will be reflected back to your eyes, and that's why you wear sunglasses. So the answer is C, land covered with fresh snow. Remember these basic things, they are very important. Thik ashe? So yes, like, share, subscribe, spread this video far and wide, because that will help all of us. That will be an incentive to us people to continue this whole initiative. I will share this particular PDF along with the answer of all the 15 questions which we have done, MCQs plus PYQs, in my Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shubh. If you have not joined it, you can join it. If you have any more queries, if you want to ask me anything related to anything, you're free to do that now. You can also post your score in the comment section if you want, but again, it's totally up to you. Also, sir and ma'am, we have done some static questions. We have done dynamic questions. And again, you have to decide how, conceptually clear you people are. You have to maintain a balance between static and dynamic. You cannot overdo current affairs. You cannot overdo static portion. There has to be a balance. So again, I keep on reiterating this every day rather at the end, that if you feel like you're lagging anywhere when it comes to, anything, any conceptual clarity, anything you need, you can join this particular batch. And I think told this multiple number of times now that the prices of this particular batch will increase after 30th June. So you can join it on, if you are planning to join it, if you feel like you're lagging somewhere or the other, you can join this batch and try to join it on or before 30th June. You can use my code SHS Live to get maximum discount. There's an easy refund provision which is explicitly written here. So again, if you have any issues, you will get the refund. Don't worry about it. And how to join this whole course for 2026. This is not the long-term batch. This is a 2026 batch. What you have to do is, again, if you have seen my Hindu analysis earlier, you know the process. If you haven't, the process is this. You will go to StudyIQ.com. And once you have gone to StudyIQ.com, you will go to all languages. You will go to English. And this is the 2026 morning batch we are talking about. You will go to buy now. You can see the price is 31,999 here. Again, you will go to buy now. And you can apply my promo code which is there in the bottom section. Just give me a second. Fine. And you can go here. You can add promo code. In the promo code, you can apply SHS Live. And then you will see the price has been, reduced by 7,000. All these things are there. And if you have any more queries, let's say you want to join a course and you can have different kind of doubts, right? So you can call on this particular number of ours, that is 9240231070. You have live classes. If you miss these live classes because of some prior commitments, because you can be a person who is working. You can be a guy who is in first or second or third year of graduation. So there can be prior commitment of yours. In that scenario, you can watch this particular class if you missed a live session any number of times for next 3 years. You have lecture notes, you have one-to-one mentorship, you have so many things here. MRP, which is currently going on for people who have cleared pre. Interview guidance program, because this is P2I. So again, sir and ma'am scholarship is included here. Test series are included here. You have any queries, I am reiterating the point. Call on this particular number 9240231070. Try to join. If you want to join it, try to join it before 30th because the prices will increase. I have been explicitly told to tell you this particular fact. ठीक है sir. So that's it from me. I don't think you people have any more queries. Do you have? Any query, sir? Thank you. Okay. Emotionally attached with me. Thank you, Rishi. I love that emotion of yours. I'm also emotionally attached to all of you people. And again, spread the video, like it, share it, subscribe it if you feel like other people will be benefited by it. So I'm gone now. Take care. Be blessed. Tata. Bye-bye.